integration projects, like you said, they've always been out there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
new. We've been
Nope.
trying to, call it synchronized systems, or, put them together, somehow knit them, into what we think is a whole.
We've been doing it for years. Yeah.
Yeah. And, but along comes IPAAS, right?
Yes.
And an integration platform as a service.
It's a game changer.
And so talk to us about, what's different about SaltBox, which is an IPAAS solution, and our old interconnect platform.
Yeah, and I think really what it comes down to, it's a combination of the concept of it as a service and the fact that it's based on cloud, multi-tenant centralized hosting and technologies. And I think that's a big key part of it. Really what I think the reason it's changed the equation is before the investment that was required to get into integration was high. And it's still not a trivial project, but there was a lot of investment in hardware, software, a lot of upfront costs, a lot of infrastructure, and then a lot of knowledge and a lot of expertise in integration. It was a very technical skill set. And our old product Interconnect was a much more technical developer type world. But I think what IPAAS does is it kind of changes that equation. There's less costs up front in terms of the initial, it's subscription. So, you can get out of it when you need to. It's less risk to try something, but there's also less in terms of getting up to speed. You can move faster, and you don't have the expertise. You don't have to have the expertise. Really, what a lot of the IPAAS solutions do is they take care of the plumbing. The foundational stuff is built in, so you can just focus on what's unique about your business and not have to worry about becoming an expert in hosting some third-party integration solution that you don't really care about that. You just want things to integrate. You don't care about the actual underlying software. And so what I think IPAAS does is lets people forget about that plumbing underneath. Let us take care of that. Focus on your integration, your unique requirements.
Right.
And I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, and certain things kind of already exist. Like you're not creating a brand new connection to the ERP system, or
you're reusing a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
To the e-commerce system, those connections already exist, and you're really, it's not, here's what it does out of the box. What else would you like to do, right?
The other big thing is that it also has inherent scale built in, right? So normally, if you're really successful in your endeavors, you're going to need more of this integration, and then I'm dealing with, I need to ramp it up. Do I bought enough hardware? Do I have enough licenses? All of those things become additional risks. But because it's built on the cloud, we're leveraging core cloud services from Amazon, who they host Netflix. They'll be able to handle what we're doing for our customers. It's that level of scale, and we've seen that. We've been able to scale. We had periods where in a month's time we doubled the volume of traffic on SaltBox across the entire platform. We didn't even notice. We saw it in our reports. We didn't even have to do anything. It just worked. And so that built-in inherent scale, the security models, the stability, you're leveraging a lot of expertise from a world-class vendor. We just build our unique stuff on top of it.
Right. Right. So talk to me just a little bit, Tom. I sort of get, and I think a lot of people do that. Okay. Multi-tenant cloud, we've got, 100 people basically using the same system for different integration purposes. So I can see it, like everybody doesn't have to create their own system. It's all there together. So that's lower cost for sure. But it seems like everything about a project becomes, less risky, less expensive with an IPAAS based solution. The framework it's the cloud, that's the basis of it, but the tool itself becomes easier to use and to make things happen with.
Fewer moving parts, fewer things to get your head around. It also means that we can focus on things like a better user experience. The other thing I think that's been really game changing for us, because we were in the hosted on-premise software business for a number of years, and one of the real frustrations we had there was we could do a new release. We would work on a release and say every quarter put out a new release. Well, it could take months before all of our customers got the new release, because then once the release is out, there's still upgrades and getting the software out and planning projects for upgrades and all of that. Right now with SaltBox, we do a release every week. We did 50 releases last year, right? Every week we release a version of the software. We fix bugs, and then when we release them, within an hour, everybody has them, the fixes. So it changes our ability to be agile, to be responsive to customers on feedback and in improving the usability. The amount that we've been able to change SaltBox and improve it based on customer feedback and our own experiences in using it over the past 2 years it's almost a different product than when we started, in terms of usability. So that being able to feed those best practices back in and those learnings, it just accelerates everything. So I think the productivity even for us as the developers of the software is amazing.